Have you been hacked? Has your social media account been hijacked? Was a password like Spot not clever enough to fool the hackers? Would you like to know how you can improve your password security? Stay tuned, I'll show you how. Hi there. Lately I've been getting messages from people saying that they've been hacked and to disregard strange messages that weren't from them, probably to ask for money. So today I'd like to walk you through a few ways you can boost your personal internet or password security. There are a lot of old jokes in the IT industry when it comes to people using passwords that are easy to guess. Old classics like your birth date, the name or birth date of your child, or the name of your dog, cat, or goldfish. What advice can I give you on this topic? Well, firstly, don't use a simple password, meaning a word in plain text like ambulance, for example. Hackers can usually find these, and cracking software can usually run through simple word passwords very quickly. The implication of this is that the longer and more complex you make your password, the harder it will be to crack, and the longer it will take to crack. Imagine that a hacker starts trying to crack a password which would take a certain amount of time, and they've already worked through a large number of attempts to try and crack it, and then you go and change it. In which case, all the previous attempts they made are pointless, and they probably don't even know they've got to start all over again. This is a good reason why it's a good policy to change your password fairly often, which is why many corporations and even online service providers enforce a policy where users need to change their passwords every so often. Yes, it's irritating, but isn't it a lot less irritating than losing control of your social media accounts or finding out that someone has hacked into your mailbox and leaked all of your private emails to social media, or worse, is holding it for ransom? You should consider changing your own personal passwords regularly as well, at least once a year. Don't wait until Meta or some other social media platform announces that it's been hacked and your password might have been leaked again. Now, what sort of password should you use? I suggest using a long password containing mixed numbers, letters, and special characters. For example, use a word with 8 or more characters and substitute some letters for numbers like 1 for I, 3 for E, or 8 for B, or 0 for O. Or use special characters like the @ sign for A. You should also use a mix of small and capital letters because when it comes to passwords, small and capital letters count as different symbols, which basically doubles the amount of characters you can use in a password. For example, if you were to choose the word absolute, this would result in this. You could also add more to make a longer password. For example, you might choose two unrelated words like battery and airplane, and give them the character replacement treatment so you have this. To make it even more complex, you might also add something else to it, like a string of numbers, a serial number, or an IP address, for example, like 86.434.0102. This would result in a really long, secure password that looks like this. This sort of password makes hacking much more difficult because not only does a hacker now have to guess what words you used in your password, but now they also have to figure out if you used letters, numbers, capitals, or special characters in it as well. And they also have no idea how long or complex it is. Now, there are a few drawbacks to using longer passwords like this, and I'll take a look at those now too. Some platforms on the web that require users to register passwords don't allow longer passwords, but you can tailor your passwords to work with what you have available. Also, I realize a password that's 26 characters long would be a real pain to remember every time you need to enter it manually. But you could always save it in a text file on your device or email it to yourself if you need to access it in future, and just copy and paste. You could also save your password in the autocomplete of your browser, which is reasonably secure, although this practice is only relatively safe on your own personal devices. For times when you need to input a password at an internet cafe, for example, it's not advisable to save any passwords on the PC using this method. You should also be careful when connecting your device to public networks because if your network settings aren't set up right, and if you have shares set up on your device, you could end up opening your data and passwords on your device to unwelcome attention of people on the same network, and this could include hackers. And now we come to the next part of password security, your email address. It's best to hide your email address or the phone number your user account is registered with. And I'm not talking about not giving it to people or your insurance company or employer. I'm talking about displaying it in public for everyone, even people you don't want to contact you to see. A lot of people leave their email addresses visible on their Facebook or other social media accounts, or post them on their websites for anyone to find. After all, how else are people supposed to contact them other than via Facebook chat or WhatsApp, etc.? Why is this a problem? Well, when we create user accounts on the web, like your Google account for example, the identifier for your account is most often our email address, not so? I would say that knowing this detail is a gigantic 50% of the process of hacking an account, with the password being the other 50%. So if hackers don't know what email address to use, aside from not having access to your current password, email address, or phone number, it's going to be extremely hard to hack your account. Now, we all know that unscrupulous service providers sell our data, including our email addresses and phone numbers, to the highest bidder, even in countries like South Africa where this is illegal, and that this information can sometimes end up in the hands of hackers. Even so, it's still better to try and make it as difficult as possible for a hacker to get all the information they need to hack or hijack your online accounts. As an aside, some people are spiteful, and if they have some sort of beef with you, they might use your email address to sign you up for all kinds of spam and flood your inbox with harassing emails and newsletters for topics they know you would be irritated by. This is called spam bombing, by the way. But if they can't find your email address in a casual search of your social media or website, this makes that act of terrorism that much harder to accomplish. So that's another very good reason to keep your email address private or only visible to a few trusted close friends or contacts. Lastly, I suggest you ensure that your safety and security settings on your Facebook or social media account are kept up to date. There are settings to notify you every time someone tries to gain access to your account using devices that aren't the ones you normally connect with, or from locations different to where you usually connect from. Or if they attempt to reset your password by pretending to be you and clicking the I forgot my password option. Some of these options will have Facebook or whatever send you a message to your smartphone asking if you just requested your password to be reset. In which case, you will have the option to click, no, it wasn't me. I've been saved so much frustration and heartbreak by taking these simple precautions. That's my advice. Use it, don't use it, it's up to you. That's all we have time for today. Thanks again for watching. Let me know what you think of this video. Don't forget to say hi and suggest what you want to see more of or less of. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, please, down below. Till next time, you guys take care. Bye.